Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the after show for part two of our Interlude one, increasingly misnamed one-shot, Echoes in the Mist, where we're taking our characters through a different system and an adventure in kind of a different reality, just to kind of see how things work. We're going to go through, do our usual stars and wishes, talk about what we discovered here, what we think about the system, that kind of thing. And I think we're going to start with our detached observer, who was along for the ride but declined to play ECAT. What are your thoughts on all this? I'm curious.
It's interesting. From an outside objective, I don't think it's a system I want to play, in
Okay.
all honesty. I am much more of a structured, rigid type of person. I don't mind some squishiness, but not a lot of squishiness. But it's been interesting to watch. Like I've enjoyed where this story is taking you all. Zahar is glad she stayed behind to confer with her dad on what's going on. So yeah, stars to y'all for trying something new. And wishes is hope y'all finish soon.
Okay. Let's go next to Julie, because why not?
Okay.
Stars, wishes, thoughts.
Um, Change my name. Sorry for actually getting us through the rest of this section because it's the whole learning new system and just having a like trying to wrap my brain around something that's free form. It's not entirely my happy place, but I'm willing to try to like figure this out. And it's like programming, in C languages versus programming in HTML. You kind of have to envision what the web page is going to look like when you're putting it together. And yeah, that's a definite brain shift.
That's fair, yeah.
But big props to Matt for just going full on duck. I mean, that was just absolutely spectacular.
I'm going full on duck. There's the t-shirt.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
For the record, I am wearing pants, so just.
Well, yes, because you're not Donald the Drake, you're Howard the Drake.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God.
All right. Let's go next to Patrick.
Go to Patrick. I'm good.
All right, so stars, I do kind of it's interesting going through the system and seeing which parts about it I like and don't like, because I of course have very strong opinions about things that I like in systems and things that I don't like. So it's an interesting system. I'm trying to think if the tag system will ever speed up because there's a certain amount of negotiation always involved. Like you run into that with fate, with spending the fate points. You're entering a negotiation with the GM, whereas in the more crunchy a system is, the less negotiations necessary because there's already rules in place for it. But but that's just a neither good nor bad thing. It's just how the system operates. So it's interesting to see how it works, and it's a lot of fun seeing where things are in the state of gaming in the world right now. Just like how we had a chance to do a Powered by the Apocalypse offshoot, and that was like a lot of fun because it's a different system entirely than the ones we've been playing. I just wish we had more hours in which to play because then we could crack through things a bit faster. But well, once we find our pace, things work a bit better. So it's a bunch of it is just for testing something out. It's a fun experiment so far. And but for stars, I very much appreciated Serafina, of course, setting things on fire. I love a character who can state a theme. Heward has a lot of that going on as well. Um, and just because Ray and I were um, to some extent trying to figure out how to fit the mold of the character into the current situation, and I think I was starting to do pretty well getting back to the I can always modify everybody else, which is something that I'm supposed to be doing. So,
Yep.
I figure I'll do that. So, but yeah, overall, said it was much fun. Yeah, and it was fun watching. As I said, making things burn and going all duck on something because that's precisely how ducks are in real life, and it
Yep.
works out very well.
Speaking of duck, Matt, what have you got?
Besides HE, sorry. Um, well, definitely stars to ECAT for sacrificing um her game night so we can play around with this
Get
bit.
3 more inches done. I'm okay.
Okay, it's all good then.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, again, stars to Trevor for holding our hands through trying this out. And yes, Serafina for that singular focus. Ray, always in character, is fantastic. I don't know. I like this system. Then again, as I'm getting older, I finding myself leaning more towards rules light, narrative heavy games. I know there's some comfort in the crunch and granularity, but it's also sometimes a straitjacket. And I like the things that you can do narratively and have that freedom where it's like, well, the DMG on page whatever says you can't do this. Um, Realize that, modern gaming conventions, there definitely is the rule of cool, but that's kind of baked into systems like this
Yep.
is it's a sandbox and a playground to go have fun in. So like I said, I'm warming to this one quite a bit. And yeah, I would like to see how this wraps up. We are, as hinted earlier, we're absolutely horrible at one shots. I I think the Blades in the Dark was the closest we came, and that was me deciding to like, okay, we're going to end it here and totally ignore one of the fundamental systems of the game
Yep.
just so we can get through the night. Also, we did a bunch of, pregame before the game,
Yep.
so that helped. But yeah, we're not good at one night stands here, folks.
Yeah.
That's just what we are.
Yep. All right, Ray.
Stars for you, Trevor, for walking us through and guiding us and doing your best with us on our levels, varying levels of grokking and confidence and such. Star for ECAT for being honest.
Yeah.
Wishes obviously is would like to be able to work through the system better, be able to keep up and understand the different mechanics of looking ahead, looking, what are the focal points, what do you need to be like sort of formulating. I think that like we're in a good place with that in Cypher now, and as has been now horse dead beating, it takes a while to learn a new system. So yes. And wishes, what happened to the rolling dice? I saw no rolling dice on
Oh,
the screen tonight.
yeah, I disabled those. We can bring them back if you want.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I remembered to click. So this is, and again, this is like the computer end of it, but I I remembered to click on the message to actually see what was going on because I would see something and it would go away. But there was so much information that everything scrolled up. It's like, well,
Yep.
I didn't see, I don't know, with the sound. So here, sound design, visual design helps fill in the gaps that anybody who's experienced a board game and this kind of game, you're expecting certain beats, right?
Yep.
And you're expecting the dice roll, see the result, then look at that. So I was
That's
a
fair.
little thrown off
Okay.
by no sound. And then as soon as I saw it, and like Trevor, he was like, oh, okay. And then it's like, well, wait a minute, there's like 5 things. I don't understand. So it was difficult for me to maneuver
Yep.
through what information was coming up and what how that was related to what really happened.
That's fair.
Um, so saying that currently, yeah, I like Cypher better simply because I'm familiar with it. I am not going to not do this, but um, I would hope to see some increase in like getting used to it so that we can all feel more natural
Yeah.
in the system before reserving final
Yep.
judgment.
Okay, so I'm going to start with 1 star and 1 wish, and then go back to stars, and you'll understand why in a moment. Um, and I don't remember actually the name of the person that wrote it. Let me see if I can find it here. Um, oh no, it's part of the. So the this setup for Foundry is it's not official. It is done by fans, both the overlay of the PBTA system and the heads-up display. And I want to give stars to all the people that work on it because doing it with no expectation of any kind of recognition or recompense or anything like that. The corresponding wish is there are some things about the way that the PBTA basis is set up that makes this not play particularly well with Legend of the Mist and any other of the Mist system games. I believe that Son of Oak is planning on working on an official Foundry implementation after the Legend of the Mist book actually gets released. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I think part of the problem with us learning the system has been the fact that the setup in Foundry is more than a little bit awkward, and I get that. So now that those being said, yeah, stars, uh, stars to everyone for going back, Patrick, to what you said, to kind of finding your groove in the system and how what your character should be doing here. Zell, your job is to buff everyone else. Great, do that. Matt, your job is to go full on duck. And you did that. So and everyone I think found that groove. And that's taking the characters that we know and translating the mechanics that we know in Cypher into the equivalent here. And yeah, that will come with time and practice, which we may or may not get. That's okay. And again, stars to everyone for for coming along on this ride and seeing what we got. Wishes, yeah, I wish we had finished because we haven't played the actual Echoes storyline since July, and we're still at episode 1, which kind of sucks, because I do want to get back to that storyline. But yeah, we'll see how this. Hopefully, we should be able to sew this up in one more episode. But yeah, that's about it for me. My thoughts on the system, I agree with Matt that I am, I'm definitely in my rules light era of RPGs. As far as the negotiation, one thing I will suggest is take a look through the action grimoire and then take a look through. I think I have some. I don't have them on the pre-generated characters here, but the pre-generated characters in Otherscape, which I can get out to you guys as well, have preset what are called tag combos, and that's just here's a thing that I do. Here are the tags that usually get added, that almost always get added to it, and then the situation, may warrant some changes or some more input from the narrator. But I think having those, if anyone remembers Mage the Ascension, it's kind of like those rote spells that you had, that, you weren't making it up on the fly. You had that structure, both in game and in mechanics. So I think that might be a good idea for people to try to, think of. And like I said, look at the action grimoire for examples, because the action grimoire is really well done. And part of it is I'm also still new at narrating this, so a lot of it is my fumbles as well. So thank you all for putting up with those. Anyone have anything else they want to mention? Alrighty then. Then we're going to call it a night. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, this will be up tomorrow night, Tuesday the 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. In the meantime, for Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT in full view this time, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Good night.